We tried well, in a half an hour. It's mostly impossible to pin it down. But we tried to talk a bit about value, and I think, and in the very end, everyone asked me why we're doing this. What is the value in it for us? And I think there's, as we showed up on the screen, there's really two sides to it. There is the, of course, it's a business. There is the monetary, the quantitative value in it, that you create a larger network, you work in different kinds of projects. This continues your business and in the different ways that you might be able to work. And on the other side of that, though, is the qualitative of it. And this is, as a group of ambitious designers, as an ambitious company, and as everyone else in the room, I would say everyone else in the room is, to be able to pin down your location, to be able to pin down your own expertise, can also make you a bit more happy, so that you're not put into a corner by someone else, that you are in fact beginning to choose your own role. And that's a large part of it. So within a team of experts, you then can find your spot in a more easy way. And so that's not just us as UN Studio, but it's working with you all and others outside of this room, but also within our own office. This is how we talk about it. That a lot of the idea of creating knowledge platforms is to bring up people from different projects in different areas and find what their talents and expertise might be.
Rote micro, yeah. Isn't it people don't overestimate their own qualities? If you say it's good that people can define themselves what their role is, don't people tend to think that they're able of things that they're not really able of? Don't people, or is it just me?
Yeah. But this is then, yeah? No.
Yeah? No.
That's then the difficult question, which the value of each person and who is determining what the value of each person is. This is, not to be spoken of in too much detail at the moment, but that also within a team, the players will fall out. If you sit at a team with a group of real experts sitting around the table from very many different disciplines, which we are doing now on projects that aren't just buildings, you notice who the weaker players are and who is there, and that fact, I should put it better, the people that are there for the love of it, the people that are really interested in it, are going to be the strongest players, because they're passionate about their molecules, they're passionate about their polymers, they're passionate about their biocomposite panels, just as we are passionate about our design and our organization as well.
And do you think, or somebody of your group, that if you transfer these processes from offline to online, because normally you sit around a table and you have a feel for who's committed to the project, who's close to the project, who's more distant, do you think that is doable in an online atmosphere?
The online thing is a tool. Yeah. In the end, it's human beings working with human beings. That's what it comes down to, and you can't do it digital.
I think the online also doesn't need a connection. I think the online can only facilitate a connection, and I think that's what we've seen at your website as well, right? People in the end meet up and have their photo the photo challenge together, right? And I think that's the same thing here. I think the only thing that we hope to that a community like this could do is to bring people together for then doing work as a team and having the physical or the personal click.
No. Yeah, I'm going to jump on directly. I think one knowledge pill out of our discussion is that what it is really important in terms of value is trust. So back down to kind of a very human relationship, and that trust is trust that the content is as value, trust that in the sharing, trust in what the purpose of it is. Trust is a very big value in all this in our community.
This trust idea came up when we asked the question: what are the partners, players you would want to co-create with? So in the first place, like it is also today, like we meet mostly for the first time, you sit at the table and you basically start to get to know each other. So in the beginning, maybe there's no trust, so you really don't know with whom you are actually meeting up, but you find out in the process. And the idea was to, if you're not daring to do this, do it in a small scale. So basically take small projects, maybe a bird's house as an architect, or like an example that where nothing really extremely can go wrong, but you really get to know people working on one project, and you might experience like partners you want to continue with. And I think that was a very good idea to start with when it comes down to trust. So in a way, the result, or why would we do this? What would be the potential benefits or values, is to find more partners of trust.
Just concerning this trust issue and then this online world, right now there might be millions of people playing World of Warcraft, an online game, trusting each other in their gang, playing all night long, all day long, all the time. That might be not really understandable for some of us, but they trust each other. They do. This is a second life. Those are avatars working through a virtual world made by not AutoCAD, but somehow 3D stuff, and they trust each other, and they work with each other, and maybe one day they will meet each other, but if they don't, they are still friends. And they really co-create stuff in there. Minecraft was another idea, and then there was one platform was called Second Life. It didn't really work out because it wasn't good enough, but it was also about co-creating and even doing architecture stuff and so on. So I think it's cool to be in the offline world, but maybe there is also some space in the online world to build up trust.
Yeah, I think you're very right. And I mean, everybody who uses Facebook as well, you know, that all the trust issues are the same online as offline.
Yeah, I mean, things like Skype are existing already, and I think team meetings with Skype, and I know that people are working on like a board which works online, means everybody can draw on the same board and you see it at the same time. I think definitely that works, but still you see the face. And the other thing in terms of crowd knowledge is more feedback based, means I think it totally works that you got a lot of feedback and can deal with the project in terms of that. But if you have a team, there need to be one certain point where you just see each other and talk, because talking is so different to writing and just give knowledge like that.
I love the idea of seeing you and feeling your energy around me and so on, and I think it's basic to build up trust for sure. But there are some people who do not care about this. Really, I know a lot of nerds. I'm an IT guy, yeah? And they build up great projects, not even have seen each other once or their neighbors for quite a while. Yeah? So there might be different people than us.
But in terms of Warcraft, you're a character. Means and the character kind of symbolizes you as a user. Means you see each other again. I mean, if you say projects got created without anything, just a profile picture or something, okay, that astonished me. But but Warcraft again, it's you have a character which stands in front of you, and then it's like for them a similar thing.
Are you suggesting that UN Studios, with all the respect, is hanging too much in an offline attitude to in their concept of sharing, or am I making it too big now?
No, I love the idea of combining online and offline world, and I think all the stuff where people are right now too much in this online world, they will come back one day to this offline world. What IM does right now is just one thing. As I said, I worked for a crowdsourcing platform, and they had events where the people could meet offline as well. Yeah. But they were co-creating, never have seen each other before. I think we will come back to shake hands, but maybe it will take some time, and there will be some people who first do this online thing and then come back to shake hands, because some people in the world don't even have an iPhone and they don't know what the internet is. We are on top.
Thank you.
Online shopping is also growing, and also many people did think for a long time that people would not want to, so, but it grows and grows.
No.
It's a lot about building trust about a third person, like someone is saying, "Hey, they are really good in what they're doing." All the references you've got on your website is just to build trust with the customer, who's never seen you before. They just know 500 other people bought this thing at Amazon, and you don't know who did this quote right beneath there. You don't have a clue if it's a duck face or not. Huh?
But maybe we should switch between, first of all, there's the buying something and just Leistung sozusagen. Someone is giving like services. I think services and buying something totally, of course, we see it already. It's nothing we can discuss. That's absolutely. I did work together with people from London who rendered stuff for me, and I never saw them, of course. But being creative together and create new ideas and being inventive together, you need at least a platform. Maybe it's just the drawing board where everyone is adding something, but then it's still a communication, and that without anything, without any personal thing, I'm not sure about it. I think it's very two different scales. It's like creative and just buying and services.
I think this online-offline statement was quite an interesting one, because I think this is where the technology comes together with the real world. I think the link to where these two play together. And I think that also what we saw in your presentation, when people meet, which actually they met through just on an easy way with your platform, but then they met in real life. So I think when we can create these moments where we make aware of topics in architecture, and then they see, let's say, the building, or they think about things that become real in the world, which they can maybe comment or influence on. I think that's when things start to become vivid and alive and real again, with the means of technology that we have to share the thoughts, but still being alive. I think there lies a lot of potential in that topic. When you can manage to create this constant feedback of offline and online, I think.
Is online. And also, I read also online dating. It was a bit taboo, but now most people who meet is through some form of social media. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's a sort of slow process. You start with an email address, and then slowly you think, well, why not a Facebook, and why not a Twitter, and why not buy something here? Why not have a PayPal? Why not have a Deutsche Bahn account? Then I'm talking about myself. And meanwhile, I've all boundaries are gone. I do everything. I trust in a way everything. Of course, I have an intuition, and I'm very precise. Sort of, if I feel. I've now went to a platform that I don't fully. Now, it's not trust, but I think they have a wrong net etiquette. They send, without me knowing, a direct message over Twitter. For me, it's a reason to stop with them. So we do sort of build, meanwhile, a sort of trust feeling for where the trust is and where trust is online as well, and because we need it. We can't do without. As you said as well, the people, there's honesty, and as soon as you're not honest anymore, you're out. So interesting topic regarding the site.
Shall we wrap up
Yes.
the last table then?
Yes.
Okay. So on our table, we were mostly looking into what makes co-creation really successful, and we had identified a couple of kind of key things that we think need to be in place for co-creation to really work. So one was the kind of model, so the kind of Ocean 12 model, where you have the kind of central figure that is really the ego driving it, which is one model, and then he's kind of collecting the specialists around it. But then the other one that we also all experienced already is the kind of synergy model. So basically, there's not like the one guy with a kind of fixed idea, I'm going to rob this casino, but there's just people that meet in a bar or that meet on a conference like this, and they're saying, well, I could use a bit more money, should we rob something together? And just after a little bit, they found out that's going to be casinos. So I think those are the two different kind of models that are there for collaboration. And then the other thing was that what had kind of become clear is that the questions need to be right. So everybody needs to be sure where he can fit in. So we need to be more specific in the way that that everybody sees where his part of that collaboration would be. Where can his specialty really become valuable for the group? So it's about asking the right questions, and then it's about authorship. So if I'm kind of participating, where's my authorship going? Where does that lead me, and where does it lead the project?
Maybe just to add on the last one, I think the where can I fit in? That's really on the first side of Jan. Maybe we introduced all the specialists of the Ocean's 11. This is really where it's about in our works, to have the right team together, but also for each of the participants to be happy with what they're working on. So when you work on something that you really like, you're working in the best manner. And if we together we can do something that we all like much more than maybe something we did without a meeting through this platform, maybe, then everyone fits in the best way that his interests and his skills really overlap.
Are there any remarks on the co-creation? Co-creation. Are we sure? Because we are close to ending.
We did mention barbecue before.
Yeah.